While her daughter was eating, the mother suddenly grabbed her by the hair. Before she could react, she was dragged straight into the basement. Then the mother sprinkled ashes all over her body. As she shook a bell, she chanted an exorcism spell under her breath. Once everything was ready, the mother began to violently whip her. She didn't stop until Mary was barely conscious. Then as she stepped forward to see if the exorcism had worked, she felt that the evil spirit hadn't left. In fact, it had become even more vicious. The mother realized the feng shui of the house couldn't suppress the spirit, so she packed up all her talismans and ritual tools, and decided to sell the house, and move to a place with stronger spiritual energy, because she had been severely brainwashed by her mother. Mary believed she was a curse, and rarely left the house. She often called her neighbor Annie to pour out her pain, but Mary never expected that one day the call would be answered by a short-haired woman. Even more incredibly, after a short conversation they discovered they lived at the exact same address, and the layout of their homes was identical. Then Lisa smashed open the area Mary had described, and really found a pitch-black staircase. Carefully walking down to the basement, she found an old cardboard box. Inside, Lisa discovered a diary from 1999. At that moment, Lisa seemed to realize something. When she returned home, she found her phone was missing, so she pulled out her family's old landline. From then on, she kept receiving calls from Mary. Based on everything she'd learned, Lisa came to a bold conclusion. She was speaking with Mary from 20 years ago. At first, Mary didn't believe her, but when she saw the plane crash Lisa predicted on the news the next day, she immediately became convinced. After that, the two became close friends who shared everything, and their life stories were eerily similar. Both had lost their fathers at a young age. Lisa's father had bought this house, but before the family could move in, a gas leak caused an explosion. Lisa's father, who was napping, died protecting her, and that's how 8-year-old Lisa only ended up with burns on her leg. But just as the two were confiding in each other, Mary's mother suddenly knocked on the door. When she went out to check, it turned out the realtor had brought Lisa's family to view the house. Mary went up to say hello to the 8-year-old Lisa. Then she called Lisa again. When she heard her father's voice in the background, she burst into tears. Before Lisa could say anything, Mary spoke the exact words Lisa had been thinking. 2 days later, Mary snuck out of her house. When she arrived at Lisa's, she saw that Lisa's mother had gone grocery shopping and left the stove on. As soon as Mary picked the lock, everything on Lisa's side began to change. To repay Mary's kindness, Lisa looked up her fate online and discovered a news article saying Mary would be killed by her mother the next day. But since the time-traveling calls could only come from Mary's side, Lisa had no choice but to wait in silence. Meanwhile, Mary's mother saw Annie curled up in a corner at the supermarket. She found out that Mary had burned Annie's left leg. In the mother's eyes, the evil spirit inside Mary was now completely out of control. If she didn't act, a massacre was inevitable. So that night, while Mary was asleep, her mother silently pulled a knife from the fish tank.